Welcome to the Rustic Garden Homestead. Today's video is all about growing dwarf tomatoes indoors. It's mid-January here in Maryland. Great time to grow tomato plants to harvest under your grow lights. And I'm going to talk about the white LED lights, basic watering, fertilizing, and everything you need to do just to grow something like this indoors. I'll also link videos. You can see over my shoulder I have lettuce and spinach growing. White LED shop lights will allow you to grow a lot of different vegetables indoors. All right, let's talk about growing tomatoes. First thing is you want to select a dwarf variety tomato plant. These are Tiny Tim's. I sell them at my seed and garden shop. I sell all my tomato and pepper seeds there for $1.75. All other seeds are only $1.50. You want a plant that gets 18 inches to 24 inches tall, maybe a little bit bigger. You do have to pay attention because they will grow up to the top of your shelf and it can become a problem. However, these can be guided down and pushed down and they can actually grow out the side of your shelving area. So it's really not that big of a deal as long as the tomato is sticking around 24 inches tall. Tomatoes are self-pollinating, meaning you don't have to worry about pollinators. You don't need insects indoors. And you can see some of the tomatoes are forming nicely there. In about 2 weeks, I'm going to have cherry tomatoes ready to go along with my spinach and my lettuce that I'm also growing indoors. All right, so let's go over the basic system you see here for growing dwarf tomatoes indoors. You're going to need grow lights. Everything that you see here, and I've been doing this for years, grow under white LED shop lights. You can grow them under more specialized plant grow lights, but it's going to cost you 3, 4, 5 times more to buy those. The white LED shop light here that you see I got at Walmart, that's going to cost you somewhere between $30, $45 depending on where you buy them. It's plenty. 4 feet long, sits on this 4-foot long shelf. I grow everything right underneath of it. The ratings that you want for the bulbs are 5,000 lumens or higher. I think these are 7,500 lumens. And you want a Kelvin rating of 5,000 or higher. Lumens is generally brightness. Kelvin is the color of daylight. The higher the Kelvin, the more it mimics the sun daylight. And then brightness is just generally better. There are other values that impact how plants grow. But again, I want to stress this is the most cost-effective way to grow these beautiful plants. I mean, the spinach looks outstanding. Lettuce looks great. And then we have the tomatoes growing over here. So I'm not using any specialized lights, just white LED shop lights. There are many different ways you can grow tomato plants. These are Tiny Tim's also. Same age as the plants that I was just showing you. We'll go back to them in a second. And you can see tomatoes are forming. These plants are smaller. They're growing in these little quart fabric pots. And I just let them sit in there, fill the container full of water with some fertilizer in it. And these plants do really well. The smaller container, so to speak, the smaller the plant is going to be. So that's one way that you can manage size. And I'm still getting plenty of flowers and tomatoes. So you can keep that in mind depending on where you're growing and how much space you have. Tiny Tim's, smaller fabric pots, plain water, fertilizer, smaller plants, you still get nice growth. I think this setup is best. It's one plant, twice as big as those. Lots of flowers, lots of tomatoes. Beautiful root system. I'll show you and talk more about that in a second. And I think they grow really well this way. These are, I believe, 5-quart plastic shoe boxes. Use whatever type container you want. The more starting mix you have, the more space you have for the roots, the bigger your plants are going to get. Let's talk about the seed starting mix. You could use a potting mix if you want to. Whatever you use, and I do recommend, I'm not affiliated with these guys, but Jiffy Mix makes a great seed starting mix. I also have videos on how you make your own seed starting mix, and I kind of try and copy this recipe. So Jiffy works really well, and it's not that expensive. Whatever you buy, you want to hydrate it with boiling water. Really soak it through with boiling water. Peat moss-based products have a high risk of having fungus gnats in them. And if you're growing beautiful plants, but you have eggs of the fungus gnats in your seed starting mix, they're going to just take over your whole space. And it's really a pain to deal with. Don't bring in compost from outdoors and add it to this after you sterilize it. You're bringing in fungal spores, potential diseases, insects. You want 100% a sterile mix. You don't want any soil life in there. Some people argue with me and say you need soil life to grow plants. You do outside. Indoors, it's a whole different beast. You want a sterile seed starting mix, and I just really want to stress that. You also don't want to add any organic granular fertilizers to this. It's going to help a little bit, but it doesn't help enough to really add it to the soil. They're going to actually kind of grow fungus on them. They're going to get moldy because there's not really any soil life in there to break them down. So the components of a dry organic granular have to be decomposed by microbes for the N, P, and K to be readily available for your plants. What we're going to be using are water-soluble fertilizers. You can use organic, you can use chemical, I'll talk about that. But water-soluble means the fertilizer is immediately available to the plant. So you don't really have to add anything to this. Everything that you see growing here in this video has been grown on what I'm going to show you today. You want to start the tomato plants in your basic seed starting cells. Any size works. Just start them this way. When they get about this tall, you're going to transplant them into the larger container. It's just easier to take care of a bunch of plants in smaller containers than it is to have like 6 of these set up or something like that. Once these are to the right size, you just move them over to the bigger container. I sell all the seed starting stuff at my seed shop if you want to check that out. When you're starting your seeds, you want your grow lights to sit about 2 inches, 5 to 4 inches, 10 centimeters above the seed starts. You really want them to be hit by the light. Keep the light on, generally speaking, 16 hours on, 8 hours off. White LEDs are really inexpensive to operate, pennies a day. You're not spending a lot of money. Just make sure these get hit with enough light. They're nice and stocky. You have great transplants. And then we move them over into that container. You can use any size. Like I showed you those smaller quart pouches. The smaller the container, the more constrained your tomato plant's going to be, and it's not going to get as big. In 5 quarts, something like this, that's the size the tiny tin will get to. And you can see lots of flowers are forming. The tomatoes are forming. And again, they're self-pollinating, so you can just tap it. That pollinates the flowers. You don't need insects. You're going to get your tomatoes. So depending on the size of the container, your plant will adapt and grow to the size to fill it. It's really based on a root system. Let me just show you how nicely the roots are growing through this. And there's still plenty of space. Let's see if we can get under there. You can see the holes that are in there. There's still plenty of space for the roots to grow. That means with the ample room, again, for the root space, you're going to get just beautiful, nice size canopy growth. To set this up, you're going to put a couple holes in the bottom. This is for another project, but you're just going to put a hole here, maybe one over there in case one gets plugged up. And everything is going to be watered and fed through this tray. It's just easier, I find, to set it up like this. And then you fill the tray up. Everything is absorbed through the bottom of the tray into the seed starting mix, and it's nice and clean. When you're trying to pour up top here, it gets messy, water runs off the leaves. It can just be a mess. So you just fill the tray, you're good to go. Once this is fully saturated, the top of your seed starting mix is nice and dark. And when you pick this up, it's going to be really heavy. So with time, you can judge when to water based on the top of the soil getting to a light color. That means it's drying up. Moisture always stays down at the bottom, so it always dries from top down. When you pick it up, it's going to be much lighter. That's when you're like, okay, I need to water it, but you get pretty good at that. A tomato can take excess water sitting in here. It's not that big of a deal, especially when it's to a good size. That's really all you need to get this plant going, aside from fertilizer. Water in the starting mix establishes your plant. Fertilizer keeps it growing, keeps it green, and really lets it get to size. You can use organic. Fish fertilizer works. It does smell bad. I don't like using it indoors. I used to do that all the time. If you want an alternative to organic fish emulsion, I recommend AgroThrive. It's organic, it's a different process, and it smells less. But you don't have to use the organic fertilizers indoors. They're great for outdoors because you have soil life out there. You want to treat it well. You know, when I take plants that I'm growing as transplants indoors, everything goes to being organic outdoors. Inside, I don't mind using the chemical type fertilizers. Any of them work. Doesn't matter what brand you buy. They have NP and K, they have micronutrients, they have all kinds of stuff that really adds to the growth and health of your plant. This plant has been grown on, and I'm not affiliated with these guys. This is just water-soluble fertilizer from Pennington. Anyone works. Buy whatever is on sale local to you. You want to use it at a teaspoon dose. Most fertilizers will tell you how to use it for indoor plants. You don't want to use a tablespoon per gallon of water. That's too much fertilizer, especially with these chemical types. Too much fertilizer can damage your plant. It can make it look purpley, veiny, can cause it to look yellow. You want slow, steady amounts of fertilizer. This way, you know you don't have a lot in there. You know that you're not over-fertilizing your plant. And if it begins to turn yellow, and you can see this plant is looking good. If it begins to turn yellow, you know you have to add more fertilizer. It's always better to add fertilizer because you can't really take it away. So I use 1 teaspoon of any chemical type into 1 gallon of water and feed the plants. Now, when the plants are smaller, they don't need as much water and as much fertilizer. As they get larger to this size, maybe you're using the water-soluble fertilizer in every watering because the plants are big and they're really demanding a lot out of the soil. So to start, what I recommend is just using this about once a week. You know, when your plants are small, maybe, plain water 1 week. Next time you water with some soluble fertilizer in it, back to water. When they get larger, you can go with at least feeding them once a week with the water-soluble fertilizer. You could do it more often. What I recommend is just pick a routine for your plants. Stick with that routine and adjust accordingly. When the plants, again, are to this size and they're producing, they're going to need a lot more fertilizer. But giving them at least 1 watering with fertilizer per week is going to keep them green. This plant has to be watered 3 or 4 times a week, depending on, how much I'm running the heat in the house, actually. So it may be a couple days or a couple times of just plain water, a couple times with the fertilizer. It doesn't matter that much. Just be consistent and make sure that you're going with a teaspoon of the chemical fertilizer in 1 gallon of water. If you're using the fish emulsion, this is a 333 or a 3.3. You can pretty much use this at full strength. You want, and it's hard to really figure out the dosing. I mean, it's just complicated. So let me simplify it. A teaspoon of the chemical types or a little bit less in a gallon of water. Half strength to full strength for your organic types. Stick with the routine. If you're not getting enough of the organic fertilizer to your plants, they're going to yellow a little bit. You can correct that. You just increase the dose. So hope that makes sense. But fertilizing is best summed up as slow and low, and adjust and add more if the plants yellow out a little bit. Watering and fertilizing is done just like this. You could get a foil tray that's a little bit bigger if you want, but I have mine maximized size-wise to fit the most plants onto my shelves. So let's just say this is ready to be watered. I would just take the container and I'm just going to fill it where it sits on the shelf, almost to the top. It's going to absorb everything from the bottom, plenty of water, plenty of nutrients. And this process allows your plants to look just like this. A couple of tips for growing under the lights. As your plants get larger, they need less light. They're less dependent on the light. They're getting a lot of the fertilizer, great root system, that helps them out. So you can go from leaving these lights on, 16 hours on, 8 hours off, to even 12 hours on, 12 hours off. The other thing that you can do is you can drop your plant to the side here. That's a good amount of light. They're still going to grow. Maybe they're going to need a little bit more. And what you can do is tilt your light outward, so more light is shining onto the tomato plant. And this is something you might need to do if the plant gets taller than the space between your shelves. And again, please subscribe and follow me. Show you how I grow peas. Behind there are radishes. Doing a lot of indoor growing for harvesting, and I'm getting things ready for transplants for 2026. I've been doing this for years. Lettuce looks great. Tomatoes definitely work. Again, it's a Tiny Tim variety. And you can grow a whole salad garden, including the tomatoes, the onions, and the radishes, right under basic white LED shelf lights. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop. I sell tomato and pepper seeds, $1.75 a pack. All other seeds are only $1.50. And please subscribe. I'll teach you how to grow plants indoors, how to start your own transplants, and really teach you everything you need to know to have a better garden in 2026. Again, thanks so much for watching.